You know how I know I smoked a lot of weed and it is affecting me even today. It'll I guess, it's permanent. I don't know. But it's been 6 months since I've even touched any weed, but I used a lot of it and I'm still um just as anxious about I want to say pulling the trigger, but I don't want to sound like dismal uh making a decision, making a choice to do something that I want to do. Usually, it's in regards to recording something like this. Um, as well, it's being forgetful, like putting the Q-tips, going to the bathroom for the Q-tips and just grabbing them, and putting them on the counter. And like, I shouldn't forget them because I keep my counter pretty clean, but yeah, weed is a hell of a drug, especially for someone like me. Uh, I never had a problem with alcohol really, but I did break up with my partner this week and turned to alcohol a little bit. So that's how it is. But anyway, the reason I wanted to make a video today, a journal to share some things, is because I was about to log into Second Life, and I last time I logged into Second Life, it was scary. It was really scary. Um, a lot in my lifetime since how long ago was it now? Like 3 years ago. Um, has been in regards to um being upset about moderators, I guess, admins, in communities. Um, I was accused of some garbage with a minor, and it was the most unbelievable shit, especially because the person pushing it was my ex boyfriend, who I owed $500, and he was pissed about it. And he was he was with me at the party in regards to the incident in question, and one of the admins to my favorite bonfire, outdoor event in Wisconsin, Milwaukee, was the decided to put a ban on me, to ban me from coming to their events for documented, verified claims of sexual assault. And ever since then, it has been how do I cope with this? How do I deal with this? How can I deal with this? The perfectionist, the person that cares so much about doing the right thing and making people happy and trying and truthfulness and standing up for the right people and doing the right thing. I'll tell you, it absolutely sucks. And the icing on the cake is that this person that accused me was made the guest of honor at my favorite furry convention. I think the first guest of honor at my favorite furry convention in the Wisconsin Dells this year. And you know what I've done since then? I've been really angry. I've been really angry and really messed up. and I've hurt a lot of people, and I've done a lot of bad things, not just recently, but in my lifetime. And if there were anything that I wanted to share with people and get people to do, is to be forgiving and to be patient. Because there are angry, hurtful, strong people out there, such as myself, that we may seem like these animals, we may seem uncaring and hurtful. And it's just why I always want to tell everything. I want to share everything. I want to put everything out there. Because I don't think it's important to get through to anyone now, necessarily. I think that I'm more likely the longer time passes that things will make sense and things will come to light. A lot of the times when someone is being mean or cruel to me, the way that I am able to turn the other cheek and be patient with them is because I remind myself that they've experienced trauma, that they've been the victim of some really heinous stuff. And the fact is that we all have, every person. I believe that that's part of childhood. I believe that that's part of human life. I think that anyone that says otherwise is putting on a facade. And I don't think that's always such a bad thing. It's good to be strong. And I can be strong. Maybe I'm not in a strong mood right now. But what else should I say? So, since I was banned from that, then I got banned from my bowling event because I threw tantrums, trying to figure out what's going on, who said what. Normally, I don't give a I don't care what anybody says because I can't control what other people think or what other people do. I cannot control other people. So going around asking people, what did you say? What's going on? This and that and the third thing. It's not something that anyone should do. It's not something that anyone should have to do. Not by any means. It's why I believe very strongly in, if you have a sexual assault case, a criminal case, if you have any complaint, either do a civil lawsuit, contact the police, and last resort, reach out to people and tell people and put it on blast. Because it's good to share information. It's good to point out the Nazis, the ones that don't have the freaking swastikas on their foreheads. We have to be able to point out these type of people, these series of behaviors. All right? And I have a very interesting email from my dad, which, it kind of goes into, hey, Paulette, Leona, I decided to become a DC chiropractor because I didn't want to do the common thing of MD. I didn't want to be a drug pusher. And today I read an article that RFK Jr. loves chiropractors. And but my point is that I'm like my dad. I'm bombastic. I'm charismatic. I'm intelligent. I'm empathetic. And we strive to challenge people to be parental figures of sorts for other people because we want to make them stronger, because we want to help them, because we see other people struggling where we have experience or we have overcome or figured something out, and we figure that the best way to get through to these people is by demonstrating. Now, how does one demonstrate? Um, well, if there's a child crying at a store or pretty much anywhere and they're crying for the thing that they want, and the parent gives them what they want, is that not a band-aid of a response? What can you do? How can you help the parent help the child to help themselves? Giving someone what they want is an easy way out. Giving someone what they want is a band-aid response. It doesn't teach someone how to ask for something the right way. And you may say it's barbaric. You may say they're too young. You may say, well, oh, I'm out in public and I don't want people to listen to them scream. And you have to realize that I was this child. That's who I am. And I believe in it. I believe in it very strongly. So what else did I want to say? I've been banned from a couple things, and the other day on Second Life. Second Life is something that I've been a part of for since I started around in the furry fandom back in 2007 or something. 2005. We'll see my account age when I log in. But you experience a level of intelligence and a level of commitment that you don't get to see necessarily on VR chat, that you don't get to see anywhere nowadays, unless you're really fortunate. I am missing those social connections right now. But people spend time on Second Life just spending money, spending time, spending effort, like true effort for a facade to impress others. And there are also people on Second Life, like there are in the furry fandom, like there are in the world. There are people who are creative and artistic and empathetic, and they get it. They really get it. They're really brilliant people. And I'm not saying this like anybody is perfect, but my point is that Second Life is a unique place, and it still exists, and it's still huge. It is massive, but it's also not massive, and I'll tell you why. As this world has, it became large enough that everyone could have their own place, could purchase land for money. There's like Robux on this game, Linden's. Um, it became so large. There are performers doing comedy bits, doing karaoke. There's artists. There's DJs, tons of DJs of different types playing instruments, playing music, playing tracks, mixing, whatever. People that make a living. Some of my favorite people in the world. Um, and there's no other community. There's nothing. There's things similar, perhaps, but there's nothing like Second Life. And I can tell you my feeling when I am encountering these admins, these moderators who are the last vestiges of Second Life, the people sticking around. It's brutal. It's brutal. And I am just as hard on these people as I am on my bosses, as I am on my leaders, as I am on my parents, as I am on my family. I'm hard. The closer you are to me, it's almost like the harder I am on you. It's it's almost like I feel like it's even more important that um, I help you. Is how I feel. And so I broke up with my boyfriend, and I got really drunk the other day, and I'm hanging out in Voice with a really cool guy who has a very possessive girlfriend, and she happens to be a moderator of this community, and she doesn't do anything. She just stands there like a fucking doll, and only says something when she has a problem or when she perceives a problem. And I mean that truly. Like I don't. Well, I've seen her say something, but only to her boyfriend. It's brutal, man. It's brutal. Um, and I'm hanging out with him, and I think that she's like on a leash right next to him, and I, I say some retarded stuff. Like I say retarded is a strong word. Like I say stupid stuff, and just basically like saying that like he's a gem, and like anyone with him would be happy to be with him because I think that he's brilliant. And I immediately apologize, right? I immediately apologize. And he said something about BBC, and I jump right on that, and I'm like, oh my god, like I get to asking some questions, and I'm drunk. I'm super drunk. But yeah, the other day I wake up and I get a DM, and it is the most brutal thing. It is absolutely brutal. And it says, "This is a warning regarding your recent comments to so and so, specifically stating, in another world you could be single or polyamorous, and other similarly flirtatious and suggestive remarks. This behavior is inappropriate and has made players, including myself, uncomfortable. More importantly, it violates The Sims rules. 8. No sexual harassment or acts of a sexual nature on Voice. It's kind of two different things that hole up together. This can include excessive flirting, direct sexual conversation, voice RP, pretty much anything in that category. Conversation is fine, but people don't come to a sandbox to hear you talk about someone's dick or titty and be thirsty for half an hour. Consider this your only warning. Any further actions that is depicted directed at either so-and-so or any other person will result in a ban. And their username is Baby Bubble Butts with a Z. What the fuck? But yeah, I woke up to that and I got pissed. I got really pissed. I fucking hate these people. I hate these people with a passion. And by these people, I mean authoritarians, you know, people that have no skills. Because if your first response is as a representative of your community is to put on your admin hat, your fucking neckbeard hat, and be like, you fucked up, rather than, you know, treating it like you're a normal person, right? Like, so a normal person, right, would like do the things that I mentioned earlier. They would make a lawsuit, like notify the police, you know, and put it on blast. Obviously, this isn't such a serious thing, but I mean, what it's pulled up with sexual harassment. That's pretty serious. But my point is, like, this shit hurts. This shit really hurts. And this is how Second Life is represented now. We spend our time here. So that's the long and short of it. Is that, like, I'm traumatized. I have a lot of problems, and I am bombastic, and I want to keep being the person that I am. I don't want to lose myself in worrying about whether or not I'm doing the right thing, whether or not everybody at all times is happy, because I see how that is time and time again. I'm hanging out with someone the other night, and she's just constantly like, oh, if anyone's uncomfortable, oh, if anyone's worried about this conversation, oh, you know, if you're not happy, like, oh my God, please just be genuine, be yourself, be somebody. You know, the more that we tiptoe around each other, it ruins the human experience. It fundamentally takes away from human connection. People are already not having we have so many barriers, so many different reasons why we will not connect with another person. And I don't think that we need more. I don't think so. Um, I wanted to quickly share this. This is a song from La La Land, and I thought to sing it, and I will sing it eventually, but it's a beautiful song. So this is called The Fools Who Dream. No. How do I do this? Okay. My aunt used to live in Paris. I remember she used to come home and tell us these stories about being abroad. And I remember she told us that she jumped into the river once, barefoot. She smiled, leapt without looking, and tumbled into the sun. The water was freezing. She spent a month sneezing and said she would do it again. Here's to the ones who dream, foolish they may seem. Here's to the hearts that ache. Here's to the mess we make. She captured a feeling, sky with no ceiling, sunset inside a frame. She lived in her liquor and died with a flicker. I'll always remember the flame. Here's to the ones who dream, foolish as they may seem. Here's to the hearts that ache. Here's to the mess we make. He told me a bit of madness is key to give us new color to see. Who knows where it will lead us, and that's why they need us. So bring on the rebels, the ripples from pebbles, the painters and poets and plays. Here's to the fools who dream, crazy as they may seem. Here's to the hearts that break. Here's to the mess we make. I trace it all back to then, her and the snow in the sun. Smiling through it, she said he'd do it again. So I think that the best stories are the ones with metaphors. The best stories are the ones with open interpretation. Just like cognitive behavioral therapy says that the patient is their own. You ask open-ended questions so that a patient can figure things out rather than the therapist being like a teacher that's just giving you the answers. And I'm going to give you the answers. So he tumbled into the sun. What is the metaphor for the sun? I don't know. Life. Difficult moderators. the water was freezing. So that's the indifference, the attitudes that you experience. That's the bans. That's the warnings. Half, half, half baked. But her mom said that she would do it again. Jump into the river barefoot. So the hearts that ache are the ones that worry about us when we're in the water, the freezing water barefoot. The mess we make is being sick for a month. The feeling she captured. Feeling she captured is being free, not worried about making others' hearts ache, about not making a mess. And that's where the sky has no ceiling. So why did she end up drinking liquor? It's because it's inevitable. You're going to die somehow. Why do you think John Candy died? Why do you think Robin Williams died? Why do we lose the smartest people? Bit of madness is key. So that's my dad at the park when we're standing in line and I'm 7 years old or 12 years old. And he looks around and he says, "Where's my Uzi? Where's my hand grenade?" While we're standing in a huge line at Summerfest with a big smile on his face. A bit of madness is key to give us new colors to see. Who knows where it will lead us, and that's why they need us. The ripples from pebbles. I, I just want to say thanks for listening, and I hope it was helpful. And if it makes you feel bad, I hope that you feel better. I hope that you feel much better and soon and sooner. I love you for listening. I love you for having an attention span. And it doesn't matter if you listen or you don't listen. It doesn't matter if you skip over parts that you want to skip over. So we're okay. I will go and apologize to these people for the way that I acted. Look, my guy's here. He's always here, always dancing. This is my house, as it is right now. This is my house. That's me. I said that my account was like 2005 or something. Let's see. Yep, good memory. So I would have been uh 12, 17. And I'll leave with this gesture. This might be loud, but I like the dance and I like the song. Oh, it's quiet. Thank you. I feel a lot better about making this video. And I'm sorry for oversharing.